Visual novels, one of my favorite things in the world. What a wonderful medium. But it's so misunderstood, and frankly, I've yet to even see a good, faithful adaptation of one. And yes, that includes the Fate series and Steins Gate. It has so much to offer that folks don't see, so it's going to be up to me, a master detective like myself, to get this important information to the people. My name is Detective Hemmings, codename Paperwork. I am the literary detective, and it's time for us to chat about the thing about visual novels. It's not uncommon to see people argue whether or not visual novels are even video games, and I suppose that's fair in some ways. To understand whether or not a visual novel is a video game, we first have to define what a video game is.
You serious?
Games are first and foremost an interactive medium, but a medium nonetheless designed to tell a story, just like TV, film, novels, etc. The difference between video games and any other medium is the degree of control you have over your personal experience. Since the user can control certain parts of the game, everyone can experience the same narrative differently depending on your personal playstyle. Also, you tend to press buttons.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Now, what is a visual novel? A visual novel is a primarily text-based game featuring mostly static graphics, sometimes with idle character animations. Character sprites of the in-game cast appear on screen, but generally there's hordes of text and they're just kind of pictures, JPEGs if you will. Think of it as an interactive manga, comic, and or graphic novel if you will. Most of the game is spent reading walls of text, then occasionally having the player make a decision which affects what happens and eventually the outcome of the game. Some examples are Steins Gate and Fate Stay Night, as I mentioned earlier. However, lots more visual novels have come to gaming platforms that involve the same formula with large gameplay segments and decision making. For example, Danganronpa and Virtue's Last Reward from the Zero Escape series.
I'm not Superman, that's for sure. And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a merman or a wolfman. I'm not a Brahmin or Kamen or Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
For some, it's still debatable if visual novels like Fate Stay and Steins Gate are video games, but the other two are definitely video games. Visual novels are a pretty niche genre. Either you play them or you don't, but they offer very good storytelling and great characters. The better ones have intriguing and creative narratives. Fate Stay Night is about an event called the Holy Grail War. Every few years, 7 matrons summon heroic spirits as familiars to fight for the Grail. The summoned servants are well-known people from folklore legend, history and mythology like Hercules or like Alexander the Great. The winner of the Holy Grail War is given a wish. There are 3 routes that the game diverges into and has lots of great characters throughout the story, which takes me to my next point. Visual novels have great characters that get properly explored because they make an effort to give everyone time, a thematic role, interesting character arcs, and different personalities. Sometimes you get the silly over-the-top characters that are a joy to experience, but even minor characters get chances to show what they have to offer. The narrative, and it's a treat. Everyone gets an opportunity to shine. Another reason why people should be playing visual novels is because they offer some of the best types of gameplay, in my humble opinion. Brain-stimulating gameplay. With media literacy, critical thinking, and reading comprehension at an all-time low, some of you need to work your mind a little.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
But let's focus. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright is a game where you take on the role of a rookie defense attorney, Phoenix Wright. Every episode is a different case, and you must investigate, interrogate, and then prove your client's innocence in court. The player has to pay attention to the information they find, are given, sort it out, and determine when to present the right pieces of evidence to contradictory statements made by the NPCs. Professor Layton offers similar intellectual gameplay by constantly bombarding the player with tons of diverse puzzles to solve. For example, a math problem, or a puzzle that requires the player to use deductive reasoning in order to find the correct answer. Of course, other video games have puzzles and brain teaser segments, but not many games center their gameplay solely on brain activity, actively believing in the player's competence. Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright were even so popular, they got a crossover that combined both the law and puzzle solving in one game. There are so many reasons to play visual novels, but we gotta talk about some more examples using some of my favorite VNs, and VNs I think you would enjoy. These types of games are jam-packed with real-world knowledge, politics, psychology, science, philosophy, language, mathematics, history, geography, and much more. The Zero Escape series is a complex and slightly convoluted narrative, but it's well thought out. It has tons of engaging theories, thought experiments, and paradoxes in the game, such as the ship of Theseus, Schrodinger's cat, and the many worlds interpretation theory. Keeping it simple, the ship of Theseus explores the idea and the concept if you replace every single part of a ship you used to own with different material or similar material, the cannons, the wood, the plank, all of those things, is it in concept the same ship? I really do not think I need to explain Schrodinger's cat and the many world interpretation theories in a nutshell, parallel universes. It offers an in-depth look at these theories of renowned intellectuals and encourages you to have opinions about a variety of different topics. I actually learned a lot playing Virtue's Last Reward, and that includes some Latin. The gameplay segments are about using the information and clues the player finds to escape the various locked rooms. Then there's Valhalla, a cyberpunk bartender visual novel where you play as a bartender in a cyberpunk landscape just trying to make ends meet. Yet, I learned a lot from that game just talking to customers who came in for a drink because the dialogue is impressive and engaging. Another one in a similar vein is Coffee Talk, episodes 1 and 2. Now I must warn you, the original creator, Mohamed Fahmy, has passed away at the age of 32, so rest in peace to him. So I'm not sure how the franchise and series will progress moving forward, but in that game you are a coffee shop barista located in Seattle, serving hot drinks to orcs, fairies, mermaids, and other high fantasy creatures. It is super dope. Danganronpa is one of the visual novels that feel the most like a video game.
Now then, Hajime, will you battle against me? No, that's wrong! Will you be able to break through my argument?
Exploration, free roaming, an RPG leveling up system, equipping skills, investigation segments, puzzle solving, retaining and applying information, and minigames that take skill. Danganronpa is about 15 students at the prestigious Hope's Peak Academy, the greatest school in the world. But it's truly a place full of despair, Zetsubo. The only way to graduate is to murder one of your classmates and get away with it. After a murder takes place, the principal holds a class trial where the students attempt to figure out who done it. If the class accuses the correct person, only the killer dies. If they guess incorrectly, everyone but the blackened is executed. This game is the most well-rounded visual novel. It has everything: walls of text, plot, good characters, brain stimulation, and actual skill-based gameplay. But I do think that this series ends up falling off a cliff and betraying what it once was, but I'll leave that for another day and another time. Now, lastly, I'll kind of speak about eroge visual novels, heavy with sexual themes, fan service, and getting it on.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So if that's the kind of thing you're into, there are hentai eroge packed games for all kinds of fetishes. I've played a few myself, from Space Pirate Sarah, Kawata Shoujo, and Bible Black, just using some pretty well-known examples. If you want more, you freaky frog you, just ask me in the comments. In summation, while I get that visual novels can be a bit intimidating to get into, I highly recommend you try some or one. There are so many types that cover various genres. They are story rich, offer great brain food, compelling characters with great character arcs, and you should give some a chance. Ace Attorney, Professor Layton, Danganronpa, Steins Gate, Fate Stay Night, Valhalla, the Zero Escape series, Coffee Talk. Maybe you're into something like Doki Doki Literature Club. Umineko Higurashi are some great places to start. There is a visual novel out there with your name waiting to be discovered. And there you have it. Go play some visual novels, and if you need or want any more suggestions, just hit the Paperwork Detective hotline. Case closed. Good day, people. God bless, and stay safe.